There's a real shot across the bow, both in a bipartisan way and then in a partisan one. And we'll start there with the Democratic Party. So let's put this up there on the screen. Senator Jon Ossoff of Georgia is going to snub Nancy Pelosi by introducing a bill which would ban congressional stock trades. Not only would it ban stock trades, it actually would also stop conflicts of interest and make it illegal for lawmakers and their families to trade stock while in office. Now, no Senate Republicans have yet signed on to the bill. I am calling on a Senate Republican in order to sign on to this. I know it won't make any of your colleagues happy, but that's what it's all about if you actually want to serve the people.
Yeah, do it to stick it to Nancy Pelosi.
Yeah, seriously. Actually, framing it in that way is probably the best way to get some sort of Republican to sign up on this. Look, we now know that the Stock Act is woefully inadequate. It only requires them in order to report trades. Unusual Whales, who is a great account who Krystal and I both follow, just put out a new report on congressional stock trades. I actually think we need a little bit more time to delve into it just because it came out yesterday, and we'll put that on the show on Thursday, and we will show you every member, the trades they made, how they beat the S&P 500. Only 53 hedge funds or whatever beat the S&P 500.
Flurries of activity around major legislative events, and Congress beat the market because they're just such trading geniuses, Saagar. That's what it is.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, I look at these people and be like, I know you. You're an idiot. There's no way that you made money better than the guys on Wall Street. Something is going on here. And look, you see all of this. We see now effort by Jon Ossoff. I would say that this is one of those areas where without the internet, this would not be happening. And it's because of the Stock Act. It's because of people like us and Unusual Whales, people on Twitter. I'm not giving us all the credit. I'm saying we're just a small part of this ecosystem of trying to bring this to light, getting people in major public consciousness to talk about it, that people, our representatives, are saying, hey, the smart ones at least, there's a lot of energy around this online. I could use this to score political points for myself and make Congress less corrupt. And it just broke this morning that Kevin McCarthy, the House Republican leader, is now floating, if the House takes back the majority, that to try to stick it to Nancy Pelosi, they will consider a ban on lawmakers holding and trading stock. Now, some of the details, it's still up in the air, but here's what they said. Planning is in early stages. One idea would be to force lawmakers to hold only professionally managed mutual funds. Another proposal is that it would bar lawmakers from holding stocks in companies or industries that their committees oversee. Other members have advocated for mandatory blind trusts for lawmakers' holdings. Look, there are problems in all three of those, but any of them would be better than the status quo. If we could even get it to the blind trust, still, the fact that Nancy Pelosi and her husband are out there trading multi-million-dollar deals in terms of options and more, hours before votes, that is just outrageous. Yeah. So if we can at least crack down on that, it will be a victory. Look, I've been here for a long time. I know that this will probably never, ever come to pass, but a 10% improvement is still a 10% improvement. And that's what I would like to see when it comes to this.
Well, on the hopeful side, to your point about the Stock Act, which is obviously woefully insufficient, but it gave the tools for some folks online to really compellingly make this case about corruption and why it is so important to go a lot further. So in a way, it was potentially a gateway drug, at least to exposing the public and creating this heat that is now putting pressure on both Democrats and Republicans to change what is an obviously abhorrent situation. We covered here Stephanie Ruhle and Aaron Ross Sorkin being like, this is insane. Why are they allowed to do that? I mean, when you've lost...
Yeah, when you lost Park... I work on Park Avenue.
Also, one other update that came through is Richard Clarida, I think is his last name, who's one of the Federal Reserve folks who was under fire for potential sort of corrupt trading, resigned and stepped down. Yeah. So again, another instance where, the revelation of this behavior, the public pressure, the outrage online may have actually led to a real world result here. So there's a lot to say about this. First of all, let's just marvel at the colossal failure of Democrats to give Republicans a lane to get to the left of them, to get to a better, left, right, forget about it, to get to a better place on corruption than where they ultimately are. We all remember some of this flurry of activity got kicked off by Nancy Pelosi's disgraceful comments justifying the current status quo with regards to our public servants and trading stocks. Let's take a listen to that.
Madam Speaker, Insider just completed a 5-month investigation finding that 49 members of Congress and 182 senior congressional staffers have violated the Stock Act, the insider trading law. I'm wondering if you have any reaction to that, and secondly, should members of Congress and their spouses be banned from trading individual stocks while serving in Congress?
No, I don't know to the second one. We have a responsibility to report in the stock, on the stock, but I'm not familiar with that 5-month review, but if people aren't reporting, they should be. Because this is a free market and we're a free market economy. They should be able to participate in that.
Yeah, free market economy. Yeah,
should be able to
real
participate
stunning.
in that. I mean, and that will be one of the questions. If McCarthy is serious, big if, and not just using this as a way to sort of, posture heading into the midterms, all of which are big ifs. One of the big questions will be whether the rules apply to spouses and to family members.
Yes, because if her husband is the main initiator of a lot of these trades.
Exactly. And it's not just Pelosi. Actually, Ossoff, some of the commentary around him and Warnock both, partly they owe their seats in the Senate to the fact that both of their opponents were sort of caught and accused of pandemic insider trading. Neither was found guilty or charged, et cetera, et cetera. But there was a lot of public consternation about some of the trades that these individuals
Perdue had huge trades.
Loeffler did too.
Right, exactly.
They both did. So that was actually a really important part of both their campaigns. And I think that's an important thing too, is that the fact that you have public outrage online that whether this is true or not, potentially Ossoff and Warnock feel like they owe their position in Congress to, exposing the wrongdoing and corruption of certain members of Congress. It created a situation where, people are kind of posturing to get to the right place on this issue. So it's a little bit of encouraging bipartisan potential possible progress. At least some of them are saying the right things at this point.
Yeah, that's right.
Hey guys, thanks so much for watching.
That's right. Just as a reminder, you can become a premium subscriber today. Watch the full show completely uncut, our reactions to each other's monologues. You get to listen to it. You get to ask us questions, all that good stuff. Link is right there in the description or at breakingpoints.com.
Best of all, great way to say screw you to the mainstream media.